why this topic is very important. Good leaders in Buddhaville. I share this insight. I cannot remember now when did I have this formula, but I'm learning from my teacher, and I talked to some policy maker. Why we have so many trouble? Yeah, we're supposed to love each other. We're supposed to be nice to each other. And then it come up from what I summarized from my teacher that academic excellence, like Harvard, Stanford, Oxford, those kinds of people, plus selfless character, we have great leaders. But the same academic excellence, yeah, that's high standard of educations in the world, and many leaders come out from those schools. Anytime I travel any country, I always go to the best university in that country because I know someone gonna come out from those institutions and make a good time or bad time for many people. And I'm always interested in that. And I'm not sure have you heard about it, but it's quite famous in Silicon Valley. There's a thing called Bad Blood. It became a Netflix documentary. Bad Blood, Theranos. Yeah, someone, Elizabeth Holmes.
Oh yeah, the one is in the news now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a female Steve Jobs, who then have come in this idea that you don't need to make a big needles anymore, just one drop of your blood, and then you can do at home. It's like from big computer become PC. This is for healthcare, and then billions of dollars pour into her, and then it become wow. She convinced people very powerfully, but the technology is not there, and it's all fake, kinds of, and it become bad. Damn it! It's Silicon Valley now. Investor concerned that startup, and then so this is a drop out from Stanford University. I'm sure Stanford will not like it, but this is real thing that we cannot focus on academic excellence, but character building. And this is a topic I discussed with professor at Columbia, that what kinds of education we must add in. Yeah, and we cannot let the parent and the priest just do that, because sometimes people now go to the shopping center, they don't go to the place of spiritual practice anymore. So it must be in the system that they all take.
I like that thing on description.
Yeah, please. So selfless character, great leader, selfish character. And we're gonna discuss more about that. What is selfish and selfless in the modern day? Or it means, I love my country, I love my people. This is bad. Or how come we find a fine line? But we can see, and I'm a Buddhist monk, but I work with a lot of people. I keep checking what's going on, and it looks like when any leaders of any country start to have too much nationalism, it causes trouble to other countries. Yeah, in America, in Russia, in China, when you focus too much on just your race, on just your people, trouble come. I'm not against any system. I'm just observing that once you focus too much on yourself, your people, trouble come, right? And as I mentioned, when the leaders in the position, in the time, their action, their thinking affect others, right? So if you have a chance to choose one, choose the one that will make a good time, right? And if you have a chance to become one, try to be great leaders who not just excellent in academic, in business achievement, but you have selfless character, that not just me, for other people, caring, compassion, those is a quality we want to see. Choose one or become one if you can. And today I would like to talk about this king, King Ashoka the Great. For sure, this kind of imaginary image because it's before Christ, long time ago, few hundred years after the Buddha passing, and Buddha, if you quite aware, Buddha and Jesus about 500 years apart. Yeah, so 200 or 300 years after the Buddha passing, and King Ashoka become the most notable model of leaders in those days. And then when people talk about who is the leader at kind of policy level, who represent Buddha teaching is King Ashoka, because he become a king in those days, northern India, and he's a prince, but not crown prince. It was found on it's like a pillar they call Ahsoka pillar that inscribe what happened in those times, that he killed all his brother to become the king. He's not a crown prince, but he feel like he's more capable than the rest. And it was said that he uh, annexed the part called Kalinga, and more than 100,000 people was killed. Warrior killer, right? And that's 1,000 years ago. You can see it now. That is still the same symptom, right? Thousands of years. In the historical record that I try to find, they said we cannot know for sure what turned him into Buddhist. What turned him to Buddhist? And they said, oh, sometimes history was made. But the most trusted source said that after the Kalinga annex process, a lot of people die. A lot of violence he saw, and he feel like a kind of sorrow what he has done, right? And he start to find Buddhist practice which available in that time: Hinduism, Brahmanism, Buddhism. And it was said in the record that he's not happy with some spiritual leader told him something, and then some Buddhist leader told him something again. Oh, I want to follow this more. Again, it's more than 2,000 years ago. We don't know for sure, but there's a historical evidence they call like Ahsoka pillar. Yeah, in India, it's like a lion, and then there's a Dhamma view, of the Buddha. And still in India, what happened is, from the warrior killed so many people when embracing the Dhamma, then he followed the Dhamma, which I will share with you 10 things that Buddha said. If you are the leader, this is 10 things you should follow for the good of yourself, for the good of your people and the country. And one thing that we know for sure, and me and the Buddhist monk, I'm still grateful to King Ashoka, because King Ashoka was the one who set up the root of Dhamma. We call 9 roots of Dhamma. Yeah. He support financially, he looked for the great monk and then sent into 9 routes, including Thailand. So there's 2 recorded in the Nakhon Pathom, in the big stupa, that there are 2 monks from India named Sona and Uttara come to, in the old days they call the Golden Land, because the rice agriculture thing very good. You didn't know where it's called Suvarnabhumi. Suvarnabhumi Airport, our international airport, is like the original name of that land. Suvarna means gold, Bhumi is land. Yeah, the golden land. So there are the 2 monks, Sona and Uttara, come to the golden land. And that's a record. In Thai history also record the same thing, that King Ashoka brought Buddhism to Southeast Asia. And it go far even to Greece. Yeah, there's a king in the Greek legend called Metander, and in scripture we call him Milinta. Yeah, so that's a monk sent that far to Greece from King Ashoka. So from the warrior, the killer, he become the great supporter of Buddha teaching. Amazing. How come he follow 10 principles that I will share with you, that maybe this could be a guideline. The next leader you're gonna choose, anyone that you can share your power, the word is your power, and then the choice you make when someone come up in the company or anywhere that you support as pure or not, that's your power. This is what's written in Pali Canon. Yeah, Buddha called any leaders the king, the wheel-turning monarch. What does wheel? The wheel means the wheels of Dharma. They call Dhammacakra. That is the symbol when Buddhism started. He said, oh, my teaching is like a Dhamma wheel. That we move the people, transport the people from suffering to happiness, from ignorance to enlightenment. So it's like a wheel. Yeah. Wheel turning monarch means the king or the leaders who use the Dharma as a guideline, so that just and righteous king rely on the Dharma, honoring the Dharma, esteeming and respecting it, and with Dharma at his standard. Wow, the term Dhamma very powerful, right? Banner and sovereign provide lawful protection, shelter, and safety for his own dependents. That is what written in Pali Canon, how the righteous people will rule. They need to look on the Dhamma that forever. Oh, sorry. Can you bring that clock to me? So we'll see. Yeah, right here. Okay. Thank you. And then my phone with me. Okay, so let's take a look. Yeah, they call the 10 principle of Raja-Dhamma. I guess I will not go into detail too much, but I leave that for discussion. That, oh, you think this principle is still relevant to the modern day leaders or not? Because it's 1,000 years ago. And Raja, this term, Raja means the king. Yeah, so Dhamma of the king. Actually, the trend principle of Raja-Dhamma. And in the modern day, we have president, we have prime minister, they're like a king in the country, but in a democracy system. Number one, yeah, this is very key. Generosity, dana. If anyone gonna be good leader, and then, oh, just my family, just me, or that's not a good leader. Because it's once you become in that position, it's for everyone, right? So that's number one. You think it's relevant or not? That if you have someone, no, just focus on my circle, not look like a good leader, right? Second, sila, morality. They have a sense of this is morally good, this is morally is wrong, and should not do it. Yeah, that's the second factor. Buddha said, start with dana and then look at sila, that how those leaders value ethics or moral practice, not just money. Yeah. And sometimes money and morality doesn't go together. The blood thing, right? Or it's big money, but the truth, the fact is not there. The third one, yeah, the term in black, that in Pali, that original term, and then that's English translation. Parijaka, that number 3, self-sacrifice. Yeah, unlike in India, in some part of India, they sacrifice, they kill a lot of goat or cow. In Nepal also, that is not correct sacrifice. Self-sacrifice in you yourself, use your energy, use your power to help other people. Yeah, and that Buddha said, oh, if you have a great leader, parijaka, it must be clear. Those people doesn't have hidden agenda. Those people really come because they love to help other people. Really, yeah, that's number 3. Number 4, achava, honesty. You see, this is 1,000 years ago, and everything is just, it's just happening right now. Right? Honesty. If you have a leader who honest, truth, right? Tell the truth, and then not try to work around any system to hide it. That is great leader. A shower. This one a bit challenging. Mattava. Mattava. Gentleness. Gentleness. Oh, in the modern day, right? Sometimes big leader need to look tough, need to look strong. But in the Buddha time said the real leader, they care for the little thing. They are gentle when it comes to some sensitive issue. They not always have a iron fist on the issue. They are strong when they need to be strong, but they become gentle when something needs more caring, more compassion. Yeah, we can discuss more about that. Can we have gentle people? But gentleness doesn't mean weak. Yeah, it's like a soft but strong at the same time. We can discuss about that. Is there any leader who are gentle right now in the world and also strong? Number 6, tapa, self-control. We can see that, right? That is delicious, but this is healthy, right? And I just see, I think yesterday or the day before, a UK Prime Minister just resigned, 44 days. And the big issue is, oh, they're gonna cut tax for rich people in UK. And I don't know. They have a different theory on that. That oh, they need to boost economy. This, but it doesn't flow well. And Mr. Liz Truss, she said, "This is what we agree before I become prime minister." I just follow what they said. Oh, when you come at prime, you do this. She said, "Not from before. Sorry, not from now. When I will step up, we all agree. And when we launch, people don't like it, trouble." And she frankly shared. So it looked like maybe something looked like for the people, but maybe not for the people. Maybe people sense it. I don't have much deep knowledge about UK politics, and I'm not interested in that. But I see that maybe people feel that it's not for everyone. For everyone, you say it's for everyone, but truthfully, it's not. And you feel like, oh, you don't have self-control. That you need to choose what important. Tapa, yeah, that's number 6. That Buddha said, any great leader must have self-control. Yeah, you must say something good, but you must say that that should not be done, even in your favor, because it's not good for everyone. Yeah, that's number 6. Number 7, agota, non-anger. Wow, I think now we have many angry leaders in the world. And Buddha said, oh, it's not good. Yeah. The more power you have, the more carefulness you must have. Because it's heavy. When those people do something, it affects a lot of people. If you are easily to be triggered, oh, it's sad. You can imagine when, sorry, maybe, this is maybe too cute. When one squirrel get angry and one elephant get angry, the effect that they will make will be different, right? Squirrel get angry something, and then the big elephant get angry. Those leaders, like, they are big, right? And when they get angry, it sends the wave to a lot of people. When they're not truthful, it sends the wave to a lot of people. I think Buddha is super clear. If you are a great leader, you cannot be easily to be angry because it's effect. It's not just your home. It's not just in your place. It's go everywhere, right? And number 8, we heard about that, right? Avihingsa, non-violence. To achieve anything, to get anything done, try to use loving way, not violence way. And Gandhi is been known that he want independence from the country, but he don't want to fight with UK, and in the process is what Martin Luther King experienced. They were killed, they were hurt, but he said, peacefulness is the strength, harmony is the strength, and we cannot fight among us. It's sad many great leaders like that were treated brutally, right? Gandhi, Martin Luther King. I think there's a lot of work to do, that how the system will not punish those people. I think that's the big thing, that when someone do something very good to the standard, and what is the systematic evil behind those things that always try to top those people down, right? In history, we saw that many times. When someone's super good, they not live too long. If moderate good, live a bit longer. If not so good, sometimes stay quite long. For some reason, I don't have exact answer yet, but Buddha said avihingsa. Yeah, non-violence is the key, and it's good, to live long. Then you have more time to help more people if you can. But sometimes we need to look at the quality also, not quantity. Some people, I think that's what Buddha said. It's better, that's in Pali Canon. Sometimes Buddha is kind of contradictory. Oh, live long. And then one time he said, to live as a wise man one day, better to live 100 years as a fool. In Pali Canon, 100 as a fool, you make no good to anyone. One day as a wise man, maybe it's good for you, it's good for the world. Yeah, this teaching, short life is no. Wise man and live long, better. Yeah, but need to choose between being the fool and the wise one. Buddha said, not choose to be the fool, even it's longer. Choose to be the wise one. Yeah, but you can have wise and long, that better. Number 9, khanti. Yeah, khanti means tolerance. Yeah, tolerance. I think non-violent is more on not be stimulated and then take harmful action to other people. Tolerance means like you reserve, you kind of not do anything in a negative response. Yeah, and I'm sure that especially in New York, racism thing, and sometimes maybe you not speak out loud, but inside maybe you don't have inner peace, and it's hard to stop that prejudice, right? We can talk more about it. That's a big issue. And number 10, avirodhana, uprightness. Yeah, it means when is the time that is difficult to make decision. Sometimes the easy choice is not so wholesome. The difficult one, very wholesome, but so difficult. And sometimes you might be in trouble by your own decision. But the Buddha said, avirodhana, do not sway toward the easy choice if it's not the right choice. I think number 10 is very difficult. And when you work with a lot of people, I just heard this from one of my students. And there's a group in India called Ambedkarite Buddhists. The Ambedkar, he's untouchable from the caste system. And there are 4 castes, and there's a thing called Dalit, untouchable. When caused marriage, you become outcast. So Dr. Ambedkar, he's an outcast. The lowest of the low in India, and super racist, cannot drink the water with friends, cannot sit in the same room, super racist. Dr. Ambedkar, he don't like caste system, but he has an intelligent man. He come to Columbia, PhD from Columbia University, and then London School of Economics. He studied economics and studied law, like a polymath, genius, but from untouchable. He became the father of Indian Constitution. He wrote the law of the newborn Indian. I never know about this before. He was in a team with Kanti. And you can imagine if someone become the minister of law or minister of justice, must be in a very powerful position, right? Why not? If not, Kanti will not pick him, right? So Ambedkar, I never heard about this before. Talk with Kanti. Can you stop caste system in Hinduism? That's so bad for our country. The future India should not have this caste system. Kanti refused. Yeah, I just heard from Indian friend that around the world, people honor respect Kanti a lot, but all the Indian, especially the one who troubled by the caste system, don't like Kanti.
You mean Gandhi?
Gandhi, yeah, Gandhi. I never know about this, but they said, oh, Ambedkar told him that the new Indian, the independent, should not have caste. But again, I cannot comment. I think it's complicated. One author said, Kanti need to choose between independence or equality. Because if he crash with the caste system, there's going to be like a civil war. I think that in America, right? Slavery in those times. And he cannot unite India to overcome Britain in that time. So he chose independence, not equality. Yeah.
Who?
Gandhi. Because Ambedkar argued with him.
Who argued with him?
Dr. Ambedkar.
Who's Dr. Ambedkar now?
He's the people who are untouchable, and he became Buddhist later.
Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Ambedkar, after that time, crashed with Kanti, and the Indian flag have the wheel in the middle. That is the Dhamma wheel. It's so interesting. So it's like even between Hinduism and Buddhism mixed up, and then Ambedkar cited that the time that India flourished the most well-respected in the world is time of King Ahsoka. Yeah, that things from India spread to around the world, and that is Buddhism. So he argued with Gandhi that we must look at Ashoka and bring his symbol into the national flag. So this kind of interesting. In the majority Hindu country have the Buddhist symbol in the national flag. I think there's still some force in India about this thing. But that time we can see that Avirotana, uprightness for Kanti were challenged. Yeah, and complex, right? Some Indian respect Dr. Ambedkar more than Kanti. Like he more for the people for the world. Kanti just for India only. Because he okay with, maybe he not okay with it, but I don't know, that I said, number 10, so difficult. Avirotana, uprightness. What the choice you made for the people, right? So I summarize again, and we have some time for Q&A. 10 principles of Raja-Dhamma. Generosity, yeah, morality, self-sacrifice, honesty, gentleness, self-control, non-anger, non-violence, tolerance, and uprightness. Yeah, that is good leaders in Buddha view. I see how it's still very relevant to many things it's happened right now, but we can discuss more, and hopefully with more Dhamma, with more knowledge available everywhere, and then leader choose that 10 principle, we could have more great leader and less big troublemaker.